Hello, this is a quick video on how to install BlueJ. BlueJ is the Integrated Development Environment, or IDE, that we will be using for the remainder of this course. It's very important that you use this because it is a simplified IDE that will make your life easier. Some of you that are out there have more experience and will want to use things like NetBeans or Eclipse. That is fine, but you will not receive support from me. If you have problems on your code, then you'll be largely on your own. The advantage of BlueJ is it's an integrated solution. It follows along with the book. There's reference material all throughout the book on how to do things for BlueJ so that it will increase the probability of your success. The first step to doing this is simply to open up Internet Explorer. You can use other browsers. I'm deliberately using Internet Explorer, but again, it's up to you. One of the key things to understand as you work on this is that there is a Macintosh version, there is a Linux version as well. Please be sure to use a Windows release if at all possible. From there, I want to download BlueJ. Press enter. As you do this, you're going to see additional lists come up or additional sites. Please be careful, not all of them will seem what they are. We want to go to the BlueJ official site. Simply click it. One here. You're going to see some overhead information, some basic literature. It is supported by Oracle, created by University of Kent. And now as you scroll down, you'll see your different versions. I always select BlueJ installer with Java 8 JDK. Again, there are other versions. I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. At this point, the length of time it'll take will depend largely on the bandwidth of your system and what else is going on in their system. Given that this is fairly short, I'm not going to pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and allow it to continue. As we do this, I want you to understand a few basic concepts. There's a number of appendixes in the back of the book that we will be using this quarter. Those appendixes have information like how to use the debugger, coding styles, keywords or reserved words, etc. All of the appendices are valuable and absolutely worth your time going through them. One of the most important ones is the programming style one, because it goes through how to indent, use braces, things like that, all of which will mean more as we go through this course. If you create your code and you follow good programming practices, if you have a problem, it works out well for other people because we'll be able to go through and understand what you were trying to do and figure it out a little more readily. The downside is if you don't follow some of these basic concepts, then when I go through debugging your code, you may run into a problem because you simply just didn't understand. Or simply because it just wasn't written properly and we missed something due to an indent being off. So Appendix A is one of the key ones. Appendix B at this point won't make a lot of sense to you. It goes into data types. Appendix C is operators, which does have a nice little table in there that goes through the order of operations and will be valuable to you because you'll be surprised when your code doesn't necessarily work right. Java control structures is something we'll be going through in week 1, so there is value to going through and understanding this. It's going to cover additional stuff that you don't need to know yet, but it's helpful. For those of you who don't want to use BlueJ, Appendix E goes through some information on that, which is very helpful. Appendix F, using the debugger, I'll actually record a separate video for. Appendix G is JUnit. We'll also go through that shortly in the later weeks. JavaDoc is I, which we'll also go through in later weeks, but it's good to have a slight overview. Appendix J is the one I was referring to earlier, which goes through style, coding styles, things like that. K we'll talk about later in the quarter, but again, it's good to have it. And then the last appendix that I care a lot about is L, which is concepts glossary. And it actually goes through and explains what some of the words are that we're going to use and helps you understand what's going on. With that, we see our package is done. We'll go ahead and click Run. All we're going to do now is select defaults as they go. You're welcome to change these values, but as soon as you do that, you limit my ability to help you. We're going to install for just me. All right, and we're going to take the defaults here. The default location will be the same. And then we're going to click Install. The install does seem to take a couple minutes. Again, based on the amount of space you have on your computer, things that are going on, you're going to get differing times. Your screen just blanked, and the reason why is it's asking me to confirm that this is okay to install. I selected yes and allowed it to continue. If you select no, it'll halt the install, and then you won't have an IDE to work with. BlueJ is a safe product and is viewed to be acceptable. It is the university standard, so again, please accept it and move forward as I don't foresee any issues. You see now that it's going through and copying files, setting up stuff. This is all basic BlueJ work that we have. A question that often comes up is, do I need the book for this class? The answer is absolutely yes. Assignments will come directly out of the book, so if you do not have it, you will have a problem keeping up with the class and getting things on time. If you're in a position where you cannot afford it, libraries have it, and there are other means to come up with this information. At this point, I click Finish, and I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and minimize or close the Internet Explorer because I no longer need it. And I'm ready to go. Notice here I have my BlueJ icon. I can go ahead and double click it. I'm going to do that on this video just to make sure everything's okay. And off to the races we go. Standard splash screen that lets you know what it's doing, and we're done.